Hey you, yeah you, welcome to the Malaka podcast. Patrick Swayze. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a very simple man. I learn things in life as you go along in life, I guess you could say. And for a long time, I thought Patrick Swayze was just doing all these movies, these rom-coms and, just whatever, this dancing shit, whatever. I didn't know anything. I didn't know any better. But then all of a sudden, I'm watching an episode of Family Guy. And it starts off with a parody of Roadhouse. Now, I had no idea what Roadhouse was. I never heard of it. And then after I watched the episode of Family Guy, I watched Roadhouse, and all I have to say is this. Patrick Swayze is the fucking man. I mean, the guy was awesome in it. I mean, despite what you think of this movie, and I get it, a lot of people, thought he was like too short or whatever to be a bouncer, but realistically, I've worked with bouncers that are whatever, short, 5'3", 5'4", and they kick ass too. So don't let size ever fool you. But at the same time, it was a great movie. And then I found that he did all these other cool movies, and yeah, the guy's an awesome motherfucker. And he was really cool. He apparently was loved by a lot of women. I think at one point I heard he was juggling like 20 women or something like that. I mean, this was even before he was like really famous. So yeah, it gives you an idea of how popular this guy was already. But before he became an actor, he was just a very simple human being. He was an actor, he was a dancer, he could sing probably. I mean, the guy could do anything. Okay, I wish I had that kind of head of hair, but some things just don't work out. But this is a little bit about Patrick Swayze I'd like to share, courtesy of Wikipedia, of course. Patrick Wayne Swayze, born August 18th, 1952, was an American actor, dancer, singer, and songwriter, gaining fame with appearances in films during the 1980s. He became popular for playing tough guys and romantic male leads, giving him a wide fan base with female audiences and a status as a sex symbol. He was named by People magazine as its sexiest man alive in 1991. During his career, Swayze received 3 Golden Globe Award nominations for Dirty Dancing, Ghost, and To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. He wrote and recorded the popular song She's Like the Wind and was posthumously awarded the Rolex Dance Award in 2009. I've never even heard of this song. I didn't know he even recorded a song. Okay, but then again, for a long time, I didn't know Rodney Dangerfield was a rapper. So anybody can do anything. This guy, I don't know, he's just loved by a lot of people. Apparently he was a really nice guy. I remember one episode of the Oprah Winfrey Show. I always like to give a shout out to Oprah, not because she has a shitload of money and power, but because she was one of the few women that could actually calm my mother down after work. My mom would just sit there between 4 and 5 with her coffee and just zone out. But Patrick Swayze was nice enough to show up on the show. They had some kind of dance segment where the woman was a really big fan of Dirty Dancing, showing to learn how to dance, and then all of a sudden this, guy shows up with feather-like hair and just, surprises the shit out of her and, starts dancing with her, and there you go. So he was a nice guy. He was a very giving guy, of course, And I've always said that, if you're an actor, you make it big in this world, you got to pay it forward, and always be grateful to your fans. I always feel that's very important. And Patrick Swayze was always that. Now, it says here in his early life, he was born in Houston, Texas, the the second child of Patsy Swayze. She was a choreographer, dance instructor, and dancer. And Jesse Wayne Swayze, obviously his father, an engineering draftsman. Okay, so there you go. So that explains the dancing, the whole thing there. I mean, the guy was in really good shape. I mean, the guy, not that I noticed that kind of thing, of course. I'm just saying, I respect that. I mean, it takes a lot of, time and energy to, have a body like that. It just does. It just does. Me, I don't give a shit. I will go to the store, like Fat Joe says, and get a Twinkie for 50 cents. I don't care. But some people just have a little bit more willpower. But anyways, he had an older sister, Vicky, 2 younger brothers, actor Don and Sean. They're both actors, I guess, and 1 younger sister, Bambi. Swayze's direct paternal ancestor was Englishman John Swayze from Bridport in Dorset. During a great migration, Swayze traveled aboard the recovery arrival at Massachusetts. He married Catherine Kingi, I'm saying that right, Kingi from Essex, eventually having 7 children. Grandson Samuel was among the first to use the Swayze spelling. Until the age of 20, Swayze lived in the Oak Forest neighborhood of Houston, where he attended St. Rose of Lima Catholic School, Oak Forest Elementary School, Black Middle School, and Walt Tripp High School. During this time, he pursued multiple artistic and athletic skills, such as ice skating, classical ballet, and acting in school plays. He also played football during high school, hoping to receive a football scholarship for college until a knee injury ended his career, and also concurrently practiced martial arts such as wushu, taekwondo, and aikido, which he used to channel his self-deprecating rage. In 1972, he moved to New York City to complete his formal dance training at the Harkness Ballet and Joffrey Ballet Schools. Well, by reading this, it almost sounds like Patrick Swayze was the first metrosexual. The first, I mean, listen, if you're a guy and if you're straight and if you can do ballet and still get this many women, all the power to you. There you go. Maybe like from a woman's perspective, it looks like, the guy's in good shape. He can, he's not afraid to put himself after. If you want to dance, you got to dance. And he did that. That's it. Like, he didn't have a problem with it. But at the same time, he, knew how to fight and, I don't know. It's pretty crazy, And like I said before, his dad was a draftsman. And, of course, when you're an engineer, you got to be smart there and, figure out a whole bunch of shit. And, so, combine that with dancing and, the whole just physical attributes and just wanting to go out there and do a whole bunch of shit and just take a chance. Fuck it, He didn't care. He really didn't. He just wanted to express himself in pretty much every way possible, in like the entertainment business. So the guy even flied planes even before he died. I mean, like, this guy just lived life to the fullest. Like, he didn't care, He just did his own thing, and a lot of people obviously recognize that, and that's what made him stand out. Also, at one point, he wanted to be in the Olympics. It says here, when he was young, he was training with Olympic-level coaches so he could join the U.S. gymnastics team, but it didn't end up working out. Something tells me that his life, still worked out pretty well in the end. Like I said before, he wanted to play football, but like a lot of guys, their body just kind of gives out early. Like, and this point, he had suffered from a knee injury. Even John Wayne, same thing. Before he became an actor, I heard that he wanted to be a football player. His knees or legs or whatever gave out. So, again, it seems to work out great for these people. So, no worries there. He attended the ballet school still, working on his dance moves, But what's weird is it says here he almost wasn't even in Dirty Dancing. Apparently, he was too old for the role at the age of 34. And also, Jennifer Grey wasn't his biggest fan after working together on Red Dawn. Luckily, it all worked out, and their chemistry was undeniable. I guess. I mean, all right. I'm going to get more into that later, but let me just read some more facts here. He was even in a beer commercial inspired by Saturday Night Fever. It was for a Pat's Blue Ribbon, and he danced to some fantastic disco songs while wearing a long white scarf and wonderfully fluffy hair. Yeah, when you're a young actor in this business, you pretty much grab everything that comes your way. I mean, you never know. Even Brad Pitt was in a Pringles commercial, I remember. So, free chips for life, man. Worst case scenario. Also says here that he used to work at Disneyland and often played Prince Charming. Well, what a shocker. I mean, if I worked at the Disney, I would be lucky to consider it as Goofy. But, again, go with it. It says here, he even once danced with actress Michelle Pfeiffer when she was playing Cinderella. Even I didn't know that. So, there you go. I wonder if they ended up, okay. His name is used in over 300 hip-hop songs. After Ghost came out, a lot of rappers and hip-hop artists would reference Swayze to mean leaving or gone. Even the notorious B.I.G. used his name. There you go. Biggie baby! He married his high school sweetheart. Lisa Niemi and Patrick Swayze were happily married right up until his passing. You hear that, Dad? He was married to her, not the woman that was in Roadhouse. Because my dad thought that. He's like, oh, yeah, he married. I was like, no, he married a woman, looks similar, Everybody had the blonde hair and a little fluffed up in the 80s there. So Dad, if you ever hear this, these are facts. He was bullied in high school, so his dad helped him out. Swayze's father knew that there was a bullying issue, and after 5 kids jumped his son, he stepped in. He asked that the coach allowed the boys to fight fairly, one at a time, instead of all at once. Swayze beat all the kids one by one. That's hilarious. I mean, listen, Patrick Swayze is a small dude. I get that, but I mean, he seems like pretty athletic, and I've even gotten into fights with guys that are littler. I mean, they're fast as fuck. I mean, you don't know, so that's pretty funny. He was a prankster. On the set of Red Dawn, Swayze would hide M60 explosives in the toilet of the director John Milius and activated them while he was using the restroom. Oh, that's just awesome. Yeah. Oh, the days of M80s and cherry bombs and firecrackers, Sure, some people lost their fingers, but you know what? Was it worth it? Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. Patrick Swayze seemed like one of these dudes, like he was a good-looking dude, and like, of course, you just want to hate him right away if you're a guy, but he ends up being one of these cool dudes that is just, like one of the guys. He's just so cool, man. He really, I didn't realize the coolness of Patrick Swayze. Like I said, I heard about these movies like Dirty Dancing and the ghost there, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, he's with all these beautiful women all the time. I mean, fuck, what's going on? Why isn't he doing actual? And apparently he did. So I would like a chance to just go over all the great stuff he's done in his life. Let's check it out. And apparently, hold on. Before I do that, wait, hold on. It looks like he went out with Paul. No, he couldn't have gone out with Paul Abdul. Okay, so he was with Paul Abdul in the 1990 Grammys. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. To this day, I still can't name one Paul Abdul song. The biggest thing I remember Paul Abdul for is two things. One, doing that Diet Coke commercial and dancing with some kind of dog or cat in that video. I forgot. But anyways, I'm getting off topic here. Let's focus on Mr. Swayze here, and let's just see what this guy did all his life. And keep in mind, I always liked when they made fun of Julian on Trailer Park Boys, and he would get caught dancing like Patrick Swayze, when his character was in high school. Oh, my Julian. Anyways, the first job that Patrick Swayze ever did was, it looks like a movie called Skate Town, USA. And this was all the way in 1979. Looked like it got horrible reviews, but I've never heard of it. Yeah. And he did a movie made for TV called The Comeback Kid. Never heard of this either. It's got John Ritter in it. Okay. Something to do about baseball. Okay. He was on an episode of MASH. There we go. Swayze. He played Private Gary Strugis. Okay. The episode is called Blood Brothers. All right. Return of the Rebels. Another TV movie. Never heard of that. The Renegades. Because I'm a motherfucking renegade. It has nothing to do with that song. Yeah, I never heard of this one either. Toto, Rosanna, short video. He was a dancer in that. Okay, I didn't know that. Oh, I remember that song. Yeah. Rosanna, Rosanna. Okay, there you go. Here we go. Here's an excellent movie that they call The Outsiders. Now, The Outsiders was released in 1983. It's an awesome movie. Now, I know I said before I really didn't hear of Patrick Swayze before, the whole Family Guy reference Roadhouse thing, but I do remember him in this. But there was such a huge cast of characters in this, just basically all these young actors coming out, right before, they got famous. You guys like Matt Dillon, Ralph Macchio, Patrick Swayze, obviously, Rob Lowe, Tom Cruise, Emilio Estevez. Emilio! Yeah, so crazy cast of people. So basically, this movie's about just, these gangs, and they're facing off against each other, like old school stuff, like street fights, and this immediate group is called the Greasers, and I don't know, maybe they're want to be mechanics, whatever. But I mean, it's just a great movie. It's actually was a book, if you could believe it. Imagine that, a book and then it became a movie. Yeah, it's one of the few, I think I've read 5 books in my lifetime. This is one of them. Yeah, that's how much I liked it. Directed by Francis Ford Coppola. So where can you go wrong here? Where can you go wrong? And of course, Stevie Wonder did a song for it. And yeah, it doesn't get any better than this, guys. It really doesn't. So you got the chance, check out this movie. You will not regret it. Stay gold, pony boy. Stay gold. Now, he also did the Renegades TV show. Okay, so let me do a little research here because this keeps coming up. So I guess this was a big deal if they made it into a TV show. Okay, an updated version of Mod Squad. Okay, the Renegades are a street gang that's being given a choice of A, go back to jail for the commission of various gang-related crimes, or B, go to work for the police as a special undercover unit, being clever kids. They choose B. Okay, so this seems like The Outsiders meets 21 Jump Street, I guess. Okay, I've never heard of this. I don't know who else is in this. I mean, you got Patrick Swayze, obviously. Nobody else I really recognize. Okay, hold on. They got the father from the '70s show, dumbass, Kurtwood Smith. Okay, he's always good in everything he does. Yeah, I don't know. Got a pretty decent rating. Yeah, check it out when you got a chance, I guess. Another movie, Uncommon Valor. Never heard of it. Oh, Gene Hackman's in it. Okay. Yeah, I got a decent rating. I don't know. Could be good. You never know. Pigs versus Freaks, TV movie. Never heard of it. Oh, it looks like a football movie. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but that looks like the bad guy from The Water Boy. Is that him? No, that's not him. No, that's somebody else. Sorry. Yeah, looks all right, I guess. Grandview, USA. Again, I've never heard of this movie. Let's see, Jamie Lee Curtis, C. Thomas Howell. With only a week left before graduation, a young dreamer itches to renounce an uninspired scholarship. I just want to point out this. A lot of these movies are very 80s themed because they were made in the 80s. So, yeah, it didn't get the best rating, but I don't know, it looks all right, I guess. Red Dawn. Okay, so this was one of his more popular ones. They actually remade the movie years later. That one I heard was not good. This one, I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't think it was anything special. I mean, it's a decent movie. It has its moments, whatever. You know, it's they say it's the dawn of World War III in a Midwestern America. A group of teenagers band together to defend their town and their country from invading Soviet forces. I mean, obviously I said this before, but I mean, when you think Patrick Swayze was like the '80s man. Like he really was. Like it was so many like '80s themed, like just ideas, like just in all of his movies, you know, like Soviet forces. Yeah, I mean, this movie was all right. I mean, you know, like it had its moments. I mean, I don't think it was anything special, I guess, but you know, it was all right. You know, check it out, I guess. Then he did a TV miniseries, North and South, Book 1, or Book I. I'm pretty sure it's Book 1. Yeah, about the American Civil War. Yeah, got a pretty good rating, actually. Yeah, check it out. Then he did Young Blood. Oh my God. Well, as you know, I'm a Canadian. I'm a proud Canadian. And this movie's about hockey, so I obviously got to talk to you guys about this. Not to stereotype my people, but yeah, we love this shit. I love this movie. I mean, it didn't get the highest rating. I thought it was a pretty good movie. I for a while, I always forgot that Patrick Swayze was in it because the main guy in it is Rob Lowe. And the whole point is he's a 17-year-old farm boy who's offered an ice hockey tryout. His brother drives him to Canada. He has fast legs, slow fists, but he's chosen. Will he learn to use the fists and play ice hockey the Canuck way? Will he get the coach's cute daughter? This is all in the promo. This is hilarious. This is awesome. I mean, it's the '80s, so I'm assuming he's gonna accomplish all this shit. But yeah, I got to tell you guys something. I love this movie. For many reasons. It's a good movie. But one thing I'll always remember is I'm from East York, which is a borough of part of the six. Toronto, part of the six boroughs there. And the one scene where he's, with the girl on a date and he's walking up the street, that is actually from my area. And it starts off at an intersection called Donlands and O'Connor. And, they just walk up the street there. And what's crazy about that is, that was taped obviously at night. And as far as I know, the only store that is still there to this day is the tailor shop. The guy can, make a good suit. And it's just cool seeing that in a movie, somewhere from your hometown, your backyard there, pretty much. And what's also crazy is he passes a theater. Now it's like a karate studio, I'm told. And right across the street from that's where John Candy, one of my favorite actors of all time, that's where he grew up. He grew up in East York, and down the street was his house. So, yeah, I always find this movie to be very reminiscent of, where I grew up. And it's just a good movie, And you also get to see Keanu Reeves probably do one of the worst French accents I've ever seen in my life. I love Keanu Reeves. I just want to get that out there. I'm sure he would even make fun of his role in this, but still, he kicks ass. Okay, if you've seen any of the John Wick movies, don't fuck with his dog. Just sit back and enjoy the ride. Anyways, he did North by South miniseries again, book 2. Same thing. I guess it's just a continuation. Yeah, well, if you like the first one, I'm sure you'll like the second one. Amazing Stories. TV series. Never heard of the show. Got a good rating. I don't know. Kind of looks like Twilight Zone meets Tales of the Crypt or something like that. But, yeah, all right. Now, we get the Dirty Dancing. Okay. I had the time of my life, and I never felt this way before. I swear. Dirty Dancing. Sorry. I gotta stop watching Trailer Park Boys. No, it's not gonna happen. But anyways, this was a huge movie for him. Absolutely huge. He basically did everything in this movie. Dancing, acting. Now, I'm going to address the obvious problem. I mentioned this before. Some people mentioned this before. That's why he almost didn't get the role. He was too old. Now, a lot of people just choose to ignore, he was a man in his 30s. And I believe he was going out with a girl that was maybe 17, 18. Guys, you gonna make me say it, or I'm putting that out there. I know a lot of women like this movie. I know it's a great rom-com, whatever. It's got dancing, and he lifts her at the end, and twirls her like a fucking Italian pizza parlor with the dough, whatever. It's all good. And ironically, she's wearing a white dress and he's wearing something black, which is, I don't know if that's symbolized for something. I don't know. I'm just saying, the age difference, we can't ignore this. Would this movie be made today? Absolutely not. Okay? But again, it's the 80s. Anything goes. It doesn't matter. It didn't matter, But it was a cute little movie, good little soundtrack. I'm just pointing out facts, guys. That's all, Enjoy it for what it is. But, I think the age difference would be a little bit of a big deal today. I'm just saying, the whole hashtag Me Too movement, I'm pretty sure they put their 2 cents in this one. keep in mind, it's an 80s movie. They got away with a lot more shit back then. That's all I'm saying. I did a movie called Steel Dawn, which I don't know if this is it doesn't look like a remake of Red Dawn. Unless it's from the future or something. I don't know. This is like a weird movie. What? What the hell? Sorry. Post-apocalyptic world. Again, guys, it was the 80s. Lots of these movies came out. I mean, it seemed like every week there was another movie about the end of the world and people walking through the desert just to find water and food. And I just, didn't get the best rating, but it's up to you. If you want to check it out, go ahead. Tiger Warsaw. I never heard of this movie. Chuck brought sorrow to his family when he shot his father, who he is now semi-invalid. After 15 years of self-destruction, he returns home to seek forgiveness. Okay. All right, so it sounds like he's trying to do more, darker roles. Okay, I respect that. No worries there. Now, here's I'm not going to say best movie of all time, but this is by far my favorite movie that Patrick Swayze ever did. A little movie I like to call Roadhouse. Now, didn't get the best ratings. If anything, I heard it got nominated for 5 Razzies. For those of you who don't know what a Razzie is, it is the complete opposite of an Oscar. You get recognized for how bad your acting is, or bad your direction, or bad, the script is, blah, 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 blah. So, but nobody cares. Nobody cared. This movie just kicked ass. Again, this has got 80s themed written all over it. You got the cool bar atmosphere, and that's one thing that's missing. I don't know if they still do this in like the States or whatever. I don't see any bars like this in Canada, but I mean, they put like wood chips on like the bar floor, and they did that on purpose because there'd be so many fights in these bars that blood would just be splurting all over the place, and it just soaks up the blood like right away. Like I once worked at a bar. Like we don't have to worry about that. I mean, most nights we did. But if somebody like threw up, let's say, and if you smelled like coffee, that means that someone just blew chunks all over the fucking place, and they literally just sprinkled coffee grinds just to keep it clean for now, I guess, and to make sure no one steps in it, whatever. But I'm sure nobody stepped in it, obviously. But anyways, this movie just kicks ass. I mean, it just, it's a simple movie. It's about a guy. His name is Dalton. I just realized that's it. His name was Dalton. He didn't have is that his first name? Is that his last? Yeah, they never really did say that. I mean, the whole theme of the movie is like, like people go up to him and they're like, "Oh, I thought you'd be bigger." Everywhere I go, I hear the same joke. I mean, he's just basically kind of a cooler, I guess. A cooler is kind of like the main bouncer that overlooks all the other bouncers. The boss in charge, I guess. And, he just tells people what to do. He tells people what to look for. And, I've been known to work a shift in security or two. And there's a scene in the movie, spoiler alert, for those millennials listening, and he's just giving off a lot of great points about what to do in security and, what to look out for. And a lot of it is pretty valid. So whoever wrote this movie clearly either spent a lot of times in bars or kicked some serious ass as a bouncer, because they knew their shit. And the biggest criticism that this movie got is people just did not buy that Patrick Swayze could be a bouncer. They're like, he's too small, he's not gonna whatever. And I knew right in the beginning of this movie, they did a great job with it, simply because there's a scene where there's 2 guys acting up in the one bar he's doing. Patrick Swayze sees this and he's like, "Okay, guys, let's just go outside." So then the two guys go outside. They're clearly just outside the bar. Patrick Swayze goes outside and he's looking at him. The two guys are like, "Oh, come on, Dalton, come on, make a move." Da, da, da. He literally just smiles at them, turns around, walks back inside. And that's exactly what the fuck you're supposed to do as a bouncer. Your job is to prevent fights, not start them. Once these fuckers are out of there, that's it. You're done. So, maybe I take this movie a little bit more seriously because I've done security, but at the same time, I understand it, And again, it's not like, a big movie where you're supposed to go, nitpick like every fucking little thing. It's just a cool movie. It's got good one-liners. Again, it's got that like 80 cheese feel, with all the music and, the dancing and all that. And remember when movies used to have nudity and it wasn't just penises, they would actually show, like women getting naked. God, I miss those days. But I'm just saying, this is a great movie. It's a great, just entertaining movie. So, I just like to say, Family Guy, thank you very much for recommending this movie. And also Sam Elliott is in this movie, and he plays his best friend. And if you don't know who Sam Elliott is, he is the awesome narrator, hence also one of the best, coolest cowboys, or I just assume his role was a cowboy in The Big Lebowski. Kelly Lynch, she looks awesome. Julie Michaels, she's awesome. Ben Gazzara, rest in peace. He played an awesome bad guy. Just a great cast of people. It really is. Coincidentally, the same disease that took out Patrick Swayze 5 years later was the same disease that Ben Gazzara actually suffered from as well. So that's a little eerie, but yeah, like I said, this movie just kicks ass, man. It's got a great cast. Oh yeah, I forgot one thing I actually want to mention. This is just a side note for me, and I didn't know this for years. There's a musician in the movie. His name is Jeff Healey. Now, he was a Canadian blues and rock singer and guitarist who obtained large notoriety in America also. Now, I didn't know this, like I said before. My parents, when they first got together, they would go out and, do things, like normal people do. They actually went to Wasaga Beach and actually saw this guy live. And it was funny because the way my dad describes it is, they were just sitting there. And my parents are pretty, plain people, the way they look, whatever, but they were surrounded by like all these bikers. And at one point, my dad was just patted on the shoulder there and just grabbed a little bit from this big biker woman. And I believe that he said that he was getting hit on by her, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm spoken for," and and yeah, it's just it was cool because this guy was an awesome singer, man. So rest in peace to Jeff Healey as well, and thank you for providing with my parents with awesome entertainment and biker women galore. That's just awesome. But yes, anyways, see this movie. It kicks ass. I can't say enough good things about this movie. Wait, what's that? You used to fuck guys like me in prison? Okay. Just check it out. Next to Kin. I've never heard of this movie. He plays a Chicago cop. Got a decent rating. Yeah, it looks like it could be good. Now, another big movie he came out with, Ghost. Now, another female fan favorite. Now, I've seen this movie. I thought it was okay. I'm not going to lie to you. Whoopi Goldberg ended up winning Best Supporting Actress, I believe, for this role. And she deserved it. It also won Best Writing Screenplay Written Directly for the Screen by Bruce Joel Rubin. So, yeah. Again, like when this movie came out, I had Patrick Swayze was just doing these, romantic comedy, drama, blah, 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 whatever, So, but anyways, this movie is about a guy gets murdered, Patrick Swayze, and he comes back as, surprise, surprise, a ghost. And, he, tries to, you know, connect with his wife, and Whoopi Goldberg is his like guardian angel, I guess. And there's something very erotic scene with a vase and clay and shit. Okay, but like again, I thought it was okay. There's nothing, whatever. Women like this thing. I'm all right with it. It's okay, I guess. I don't know. Again, I can't recommend Roadhouse enough. Roadhouse is a great movie. Please go see that. Now, here's another great movie that he did, which again, I had no idea didn't exist. Actually, ironically, I did know about this through Family Guy too, but for a long time I didn't give a shit. Yeah, they even did a spoof where you did the same robbery with all the president's masks there, and and then they finally remember Point Break. That's the movie. That's right, Point Break. So another kick-ass movie. Keanu Reeves is in it. Gary Busey's in it. The whole thing is he's an undercover cop, and he's trying to get Patrick Swayze, who's a bank robber, and it's awesome. It's a great movie. It sounds, again, it's kind of that, early 90s kind of vibe, I think surfing movies were really kind of picking up at that point. I don't know, like the early 90s, mid 90s sort of. I mean, that kind of, I guess, California vibe, I guess, was going on. And just everything worked. It's a great movie. Check it out. Check it out. He was in The Player. He played himself. He was uncredited. I don't think I've ever seen this movie. City of Joy. Never heard of this one. Got pretty decent reviews. Fatherhood. Now, surprisingly, this movie did not get a very good rating. I thought it was a good little movie. A deadbeat dad kidnaps his kids from the bus, based on a true life stories and experiences of Michael J. Hardy. I like this movie. I don't know. IMDb only gave it a 4.9 out of 10. I thought it was pretty good. Again, Halle Berry's in it. That's not the reason why I like it, but of course it helps. But it's a good movie. Check it out when you get a chance. Tall Tale. I've never seen this one. It looks like some kind of Western thing going here. Check it out, I guess. To Wong Fu, thanks for everything, Julie Newmar. Now, this shocked a lot of people. Keep in mind, this was not like today, where a guy dresses up like a woman or wants to become a woman, and it's just a normal Tuesday. Back then, yeah, especially with these guys. I mean, John Leguizamo, I was used to him playing Luigi. Wesley Snipes, basically playing every bad guy or kicking ass against white people in basketball. And Patrick Swayze, they all got dressed up as women. And it's about the three drag queens traveling cross country until their car breaks down, leaving them stranded in a small town. So, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've never seen it. I'm not that I'm against seeing this movie. I've just never seen it. That's all. But I remember this when this movie came out. It was a big deal. A lot of people liked it, and like I said before, if they made this movie today, it'd be like no big deal. It's like whatever. Who cares? Not that like who cares. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying like I mean it's cool to be anything nowadays. It doesn't matter. Who cares? It's all good. And but back then it was just crazy seeing, these three like macho dudes like being, just dressing up in drag. So it's especially Wesley. I don't know, like, but yeah, man, check it out. Three Wishes. Never heard of this one. Yeah, looks all right, I guess. I don't know. Looks like something about a dream or something. All right. Black Dog. Is it about a black dog? No, it is not. It's actually about weapons loaded truck is shadowed by FBI and ATF. It explodes and kills the driver. Jack, out of prison, is pressured into driving another truck from Atlanta to New Jersey. Things get rough when hijacking attempts are made. This is why I miss the 90s. I just miss, that action flick that, it doesn't have much of a plot. It's just, no green screen shit, just shit blowing up. Although I've never seen this movie, it's got that kind of feel to it. Randy Travis, Meatloaf are in it. I might have to check this out. Okay. Didn't get the best rating, but whatever, who cares? Letters from a Killer. Never saw this one. He's falsely accused of murdering his wife. That idea has never been done before. I don't know. Looks decent, I guess. I don't know. Shows Patrick Swayze with the knife on the poster there, Okay. Forever Lulu. Never heard of this one. Melanie Griffin. Haven't heard from her in a while. I don't know. What happened to her? I always thought she was really cute. Green Dragon. Never heard of this one either. The story of some Vietnamese refugees as they first arrive at Camp Pendleton in the United States as the Vietnam War ends in 1975. Okay, got a okay rating, I guess. All right. Donnie Darko. You know what? I completely forgot he was in this movie. This movie's a trip, man. I mean, yeah. I can't even describe this movie. It's just one of those movies you just got to see, and I don't know. You might have to watch it again just because you missed a lot of shit. But it's a cool movie. Check it out. Waking Up in Reno. If you woke up in Reno, you must have had a good night. Anyways, never heard of this one. Billy Bob Thornton, Charlize Theron. Okay. One Last Dance. It looks like Patrick Swayze always had room for one last dance. Three dancers are forced to reconcile their differences. Well, about $1 for every time I had to go through that shit. Next movie's called 11:14. I don't know if that's AM or PM. Judging by the picture here, it looks like PM. Yeah, no, it says PM. Yeah, the events leading up to an 11:14 PM car crash from 5 very different perspectives. Okay. Actually got a pretty good rating. I never heard of it. Okay. Ja Rule, Murder Reigns. Wow, he actually showed up in a Ja Rule video as a Detective Fitzgerald. Did he really? Fuck, I don't even remember the song. Okay. All right. Showed up on Whoopi, the TV series, obviously by Whoopi Goldberg. Dirty Dancing, Havana Nights. I can't believe they actually tried to remake this shit. Did he really actually show up in the remake? Or, I mean, maybe he made a cameo or something? I don't know. Do I bother to check? No. George and the Dragon. It's about a Greek guy who buys a dragon. No, just joking. A knight returns from the Crusades, takes on the dragon, and becomes a legend. All right. Okay. King Solomon's Mind is a TV miniseries. Showed up a couple episodes of that. Icon TV movie. Never heard of that one, although it looks like it stars the guy that played No. Was that Teabag from Prison Break? No. Is it? Sort of looks like him. I don't think it is. Wait, let's go for a closer look here. I don't know, sometimes they put like posters on here that, they're so blurry. You can't see nothing. I don't know. I got LASIK here. I still can't see shit. I don't know. Fuck it. What else we got here? We got Keeping Mum, M-U-M. This looks like an English movie. It's got Mr. Bean in it. I don't know. I never heard of it. My internet speed sucks. The Fox and the Hound 2. I never saw the first one, but I assume if you like the first one, you'll like the second one. So that's, that's something to look forward to. What else we got here? We got Keeping Mum, the Funnies. Okay, so did more for that. Keeping Mum, deleted scenes. Okay, Christmas in Wonderland. I didn't know Wonderland was open at Christmas, but no, I never heard of this movie. Okay. Time of my life. Can't get this song out of my head. Jump with an exclamation mark. Never heard of this one either. And The Beast is a TV show. Looks like some kind of veteran FBI agents and okay. All right. And the very last thing that Patrick Swayze did was a movie called Powder Blue, where he played a character called Velvet Larry. I never heard of this one. So that's all the movies that Patrick Swayze did. Now, are we gonna remember him for doing his last movie with Lisa Kudrow? Not that I have anything against her, but we're not gonna remember him for that. We're gonna remember him for just, being that dude that can do comedy. He could do drama. He could do dancing. He did Dirty Dancing. He did clean dancing. He beat the shit out of people. He would somehow pull Mortal Kombat moves on people and then, shove them in a lake and go, Wesley! Wesley! Fuck you! Oh, I love waking up my neighbors. But anyways, these are the things that we're going to remember Patrick Swayze for. Now, the thing that was always shocking to me is when Patrick Swayze died, I just assumed it was some kind of like lung cancer or something, because if you watch Roadhouse, I mean, he's just like, puffing away like Keith Richards. But it was actually something else. It says here in late December 2007, just after filming the pilot episode for The Beast, Swayze began to suffer a burning feeling in his stomach caused by a blockage of his bile ducts. 3 weeks later, in mid-January 2008, he was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. He traveled to the Stanford University Medical Center for chemotherapy and treatment with the experimental drug Vatilanib, which doctors hoped would cut off the blood supply to the tumor. Now, I mean, what can I say? This sucks, man. I mean, honestly, you really thought that like a guy like Patrick Swayze would just like live like a longer life than this for sure. I mean, I would have liked to see what like Patrick Swayze would have done like in his older years. I mean, it seemed like he was trying to do like more like serious roles, as like the 90s and thousands progressed, and just curious to see what more he would have done, but it's not always up to us, He was only 57 years old. Now, to you millennials out there, that might seem like an eternity, but I don't know. To me, that's extremely young. And yeah, I mean, the guy definitely had a lot more life in him. And yeah, you know, he provided us with some kick-ass movies. Again, I cannot stress enough that you have to see Roadhouse. Okay, doesn't matter what the Razzie said, doesn't matter what the critics say. You got to see Roadhouse. Okay, if one movie represents this man perfectly, it's Roadhouse. Okay, he didn't do any dancing in it. Wait, did he? No. At one point, I think he was doing some kind of, I don't know, whatever. When you do the kung fu there, and you're like kind of, doing movements in the air and shit. It's I don't know. Like you go to parks and you see these people do it. I don't know. I think they ripped it off Patrick Swayze, but this guy kicked ass. So all I want to say is this: Patrick Swayze, you're the man. Sorry for all those years I thought you were just doing all these, stupid romance movies. It's clear that you were a pretty diverse guy, and you just wanted to make people happy and entertain them. So rest in peace, Patrick Swayze.